The snatch balance is a great exercise or drill that we can use to refine our receiving position when we're performing a snatch variation where we want to catch the bar overhead. So to perform a snatch balance, we need to make sure we take a snatch grip on the bar, and we can find out what our snatch grip is by finding where the bar will sit in our hip crease. So if we're too narrow, you can see that bar is actually hitting me on the thigh, and if we go too wide, that bar is going to be above my hip crease and can potentially hit that ASIS, that bony point in the hip. So we want to make sure we've got this snatch grip here, and from here we then place the bar on our back. So don't let your hands move away from that snatch grip that you've just figured out. We're going to start with our feet about hip width apart, and your feet will actually move in this drill to a slightly wider stance. You'll end up catching the bar in your squat stance. From here, there's a couple of different variations you can use. The first one I like to use is a variation where we use a bit of a heaving snatch balance technique. So we're going to use some leg drive to get momentum into the bar before we punch the bar overhead, drop down and catch in an overhead squat position. You don't need to go into a full overhead squat, about a quarter squat's good enough. So that'll just look like this. Okay, as you can see, my feet are moving from hip width into that squat stance. I want you to catch and stick in that power position, okay? You need to own and hold that before you stand up. Try not to rush it and stand up really quickly, because that just shows that you're not in control or balance. All right, so a couple more times. Dip, drive, punch, drop under and catch. When you catch, you need to catch with those elbows completely locked out. You shouldn't still be pressing through the bar as you catch and finish. The bar should sort of land on a fully extended arm. So once you've got that heaving variation down pat, you can then progress to just drop snatching underneath from here. And for this variation, the goal is to not use any momentum to get the bar going, but to use your body and gravity to snap under the bar. So almost standing completely extended and dropping and catching. So there'll be a slight little dip and drive, just enough to get moving, but it's essentially just dropping and catching. Again, stick and hold. Show me that you're balanced and in control of that position. Now with the snatch balance variations, we want to make sure that our head drops forward through the window that you're making with your arms. Okay, so head forward as you catch. All right, and we're trying to make sure that we sit down into that power squat position. Okay, so that we're balanced and in an athletic stance as we receive the bar. So those are the snatch balances.